Yeah, we've been here almost 60 years, and we continue to change the services that we provide. And you know, we don't just decide in a vacuum what services we're going to provide. We talk to community members. We have physicians who have been long-term community members here. We look at what the incidence of disease are, and we make changes to the services we provide based on that. You know, for instance, a few years ago, we looked at the information from the National Cancer Institute as the incidence of cancer in our area, and it's pretty astounding. And I feel fairly confident to say that there's nobody here who hasn't been touched or knows somebody who's been touched by cancer.
Because cancer treatment is complex and needs multimodal therapy, including surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation, I believe that coordinating the treatment with Markey multi-specialty team will take our cancer care in our community to a new level. As many of you know, having cancer is tough on the mind as well as the body. And providing treatment close to home, near family and friends, can make all the difference when the patient feels exhausted and wants the comfort of loved ones and familiar things. I think traveling out of town is often costly and may delay treatment of newly diagnosed cancer patients. The patients will continue to receive their treatment at ARH close to home and their families while having access to Markey specialized treatment and technology.
I worked here for 17 years, and in August of 2011, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Had a nice, quiet young man who was the new oncologist, and so I didn't really know what I was going to run into when I first came in to meet him. But he is probably the best doctor I've ever met in my life. He has fought for me, has never turned his back and said, I give up. And so I consider my job to stick right with him and to do whatever it takes. About probably 4 or 5 months after I finished chemotherapy, I started having hip pain. Dr. Boz told me, go home, rest a couple weeks. If you're still having the hip pain, we'll refer you to Hazard. So I went to Hazard to see Dr. Steve Carawayne. Saw him on a Friday. Dr. Carawayne sent me for some tests, and he said, Sheila, if you'll just stick with me today, we'll find out why your hip's hurting. So I went in his office, and he said, top of your femur is necrotic. If it wasn't already so late today, we would do your surgery today, but I want you back here Monday. So Monday morning, I went back. I was at Hazard, had my surgery, was up the next day, walking around, had absolutely no bruising, and had an absolutely great recovery. A few months, probably about 6 months after that, started having pain in my right hip. So I go back to Dr. Carawayne. CT scans again, and he comes in and he says, please, he said, please don't hate me, but I can't do your surgery. I said, oh my no. And he said, I have a friend, he said, at UK, that I refer my patients to. I trust him implicitly. He said, so I'm going to send you to him. But he did my surgery on this hip, which was a much more involved process, which required, much more in-depth surgery. And I had a great experience. I've had a great experience with the doctors at Hazard. I've had a great experience with the doctors at Markey, and of course, especially the doctors and all of the friends that I have here. But through all of this, without my friends and without the people that I know here at the hospital and without the personable personalities of everybody, I don't know that I would have had the willpower to not give up.
We've heard a lot about family today, and I want to personally welcome you to the UK Healthcare Markey family. That's very important for us. We now have 13 affiliate hospitals. More than half of those are in Appalachia, Eastern Kentucky, which is an important population for us. Over 50% of our patients come from this region.
I don't have much more to say because Sheila said it all. When I came here 10 years ago, our goal was to make sure that UK was as good as Vanderbilt or Washington University, or Indiana University, or Ohio State, University of Pittsburgh. So folks who needed very specialized care in Kentucky could get it in Kentucky and not have to go out of state. We also knew that we needed to work with local communities to make them stronger and better, because as Dr. Boz says, big part of healing is having family around. And so the more you can stay home with your family for care, the better off everybody is, and we recognize that. So we are committed to working with Williamson Hospital and all the other ARH hospitals to strengthen care locally as much as possible. But there are some things you're just not going to be able to do. And when you can't do it, we got to make sure that we can do it with you and make sure that the referrals are easy and we take care of you like family when you get to Lexington.
So with that, so they feel more a part of our family, I'd like to recognize Dr. Evers and Dr. Karpf and present them with our family jersey today and welcome them to our team. Dr. Evers.
Hey, Tim, our cheerleaders are a little better looking than you, too.
Thank you.